channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, we're going to be working on some fall DIYs. We're going to be using some Dollar Tree products, also some Walmart stuff. And what we're doing is I want to show you how you can take what you already have, repurpose it, and make it something just absolutely gorgeous that looks high-end and you can be very proud of. So what we're going to be doing is taking the stuff from my front porch that I had out for summer. The Tennessee heat and the summer sun have wreaked havoc on my decor, my pillows, my florals, all of that stuff is faded and just yucky, okay? So we're gonna take that, repurpose it, and make fall. Yes, that's what we're doing. So let's get right into these DIYs. Okay, so I wanted to take y'all on just a little trip on my porch just to kind of show you. I've still got summer out and things just look a little wonky. Now keep in mind the porch itself is still has to be painted. We sanded it down to where we could paint it, and then it got just way too hot to paint. Of course, there's the puppies. They can't figure out why I'm out here and they're not. Anyways, all right, so I was just kind of showing y'all it needs to be cleaned. Got a little bit of grimy going on across the siding and just some stuff I need to take care of. And then I wanted to obviously decorate it with my new fall decor. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking what I have and redoing it. All right, so for this first DIY here, I have got some twine, and I took my twine outside and just measured it around my door facing. That's how I measured it. So I don't really know exactly how long it is. I just did it to fit my door. All right, this material here was 2 yards of material for $4. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Now, I don't buy material a lot, so I don't really know the prices on stuff like that. But for what I was using it for, I thought it was a good deal. These bandanas here I got from Walmart. They were $1 a piece. And then these scarves I've got here, they came from the Dollar Tree. Of course, they're $1. And then I've got some burlap leaves that came from the Dollar Tree. Now, I took my material, my bandanas, my scarves, all of my material, and cut it into strips like you see here. Just about 6 or 8 inches long and about an inch and a half wide. That's just a random guess at that. Now, I did have some ribbon that I thought about using, but I ended up not using. Now, this is what I was doing with it. I just end up tying it to this. We're making a big long thing of garland to go over around my door. So I'm just tying it. I double knot it, move on to the next piece. I actually do 2 pieces of the same color. And then as you can see there, the leaf itself has like a little hook on it where you can, a little metal deal. So you can just kind of slide it over the rope and it's good to go. So what I actually did was put all my material on first, put it around my door, and then I put my leaves on. That way I could kind of place them where I wanted them because, you know, you could just kind of slide them right on the twine. So I'm just tying on 2 pieces of the same material and then moving on to the next color. And I did stay kind of in a order. I kind of had a pattern going on with it, like the buffalo check and then the scarf and then the 2 different materials. But I just literally went all the way down this twine. And now this kind of took a minute. I mean, it's not hard to do by any means. Obviously, it's super simple, but it did take a minute. It's a little tedious. So I just put a couple shows on YouTube and I just watched a couple little episodes while I was tying my twine on, or my garland onto my twine. This turns out so cute. It's such a statement piece, and it is so cheap and easy to make. I mean, you can, oh, look at this. So cute. I just love it. I feel like it really just frames out the door. It really sets it off. I mean, I absolutely love this. And those burlap leaves, they just made it. They seriously made the whole thing. So stinking cute and so easy to make, y'all. Anybody could do this. You could do this with your kids. This is a simple, simple little project. So cute. All right, so for this next one here, these mats or rugs, I actually had these in my kitchen, and I was using them when I had my Pioneer Woman stuff out, which I haven't used that in months. So I've had these put up in the garage, and I thought, you know what, this is the perfect time to repurpose those rugs, and I'm going to put those on the front porch to go with my fall decor. So I took some of that material that I had used to cut up in our first DIY. I had it where I had cut it, actually, for the first DIY. I cut it in half the wrong direction. So I ended up having to use 2 pieces to cover this mat. But still no big deal. It turns out so cute. So I just measured it off. I literally am like wrapping this mat in this material. It's so simple to do. Kind of like you're wrapping a present, but you're just wrapping the front part of it. The top half of this dude. So easy to make, y'all. This is so simple. I just added some hot glue, mashed my sides down, move on to the other side. Same exact thing. I'm just going to add my hot glue. Now, like I said, you see that the end there doesn't have any material on it, and that's because I ended up having to put 2 pieces on here to cover it. I didn't have one long enough to cover the whole rug. But like I said, I'm just literally wrapping it. You can see there how simple this is. Just adding hot glue. And this is going to be on the bottom. So obviously it doesn't matter how much hot glue you use or what this looks like. Nobody's ever going to see that part. If somebody's coming up, picking up your rugs on your porch and looking at them, checking them out, you probably don't need them folks on your porch. So anyways, I took that second piece, folded it over, to make kind of look like a hem a little bit. Now, because this was, I lucked out really, because this was that striped and it was that really small stripe, you honestly could not see that that second piece was on there. You really had to be looking for it to notice that it was in 2 pieces. So I just, same thing, folded it over, wrapped it up, and that's all that there is to this. This was so simple. Now, because that seam was there, I did take a little hot glue and put down the middle just to kind of hold it in. Of course, it was held on by the back. It wasn't coming off, but I did put a little glue there across the middle just to hold that down. Make sure that didn't, try to slide up or anything. So simple. Now, the second part of this mat, I've got this stencil from the Dollar Tree. Well, it's not really a stencil. It's just a felt pumpkin. And I took some spray paint and literally sprayed over the top of that rug. Too cute. Look at that. So stinking cute. Now, I have seen Megan from Glue Guns and Roses. I've actually seen her do something a little similar to this, not the same thing, but she took a black Sharpie and filled in the black spots, and it really, it looked good. All right, moving on to the next one. So simple as can be. I took my pillows that were already outside from summer. I took that same material. Now, don't worry, we do use some other stuff, but I had a lot of that material. So anyways, and plus I wanted things to be cohesive. I mean, duh, it all had to match. So just measured off my pillow just to see how much I needed. And I'm just going to wrap this dude up, literally like you're wrapping a present. It is exactly like wrapping a present. I added a little glue right down the middle. Now, my glue gun decided it didn't want to work with me right. That happens. I just added me some glue straight down the middle of this dude. Quite a bit, too, because it smooths itself right out. It does not leave a big clump. I mean, you can really smooth it out good. Long as you get to smoothing while it's hot. Definitely smooth it out as soon as you lay it down there. But I just added my hot glue, smoothed that out on the middle, folded it over, and then I folded that over the end of that piece so that it would have what looked like a seam there. And then I'm just going to hot glue that dude down. So simple, y'all. These were so easy to do, and it turns out so cute. I feel like they look high end. all of the DIYs that are in this video. I really feel like these turned out so good, and I'm really proud of my porch right now. And that's fun. You know, it's nice when you can feel proud of what you've got. And you know, when you have visitors come and you're welcoming them onto your front porch, and look, you've got it all decked out and it looks nice. And not everybody can afford to just run out and buy everything to do that with. So to be able to repurpose what I already had for so cheap and it be so easy to make, this was totally worth it. Just wrap that dude up like a present and boom, you've got a pillow covered. Now, these are the ones, look how faded. That's the Tennessee sun for you there, baby. All right, so I got these placemats off of Amazon, and I think it was like $12 for 6 of them. And I've had them for a while, and I wasn't sure just exactly what I was going to do with them, but I decided to make a couple pillows. So like I said, we weren't going to only use that material. We needed something to kind of set those other pillows off. So I just got the seam. I found the seam, took my X-Acto knife, and I literally just sliced down inside there. Now, I did not cut the material. I simply cut the threads. If you cut the material, it's gonna have a weird edge to it. So be sure you only cut the threads. And I think there's like a tool that you can rip hems out with that would be perfect for doing something like this, but I don't have that. So I just use my X-Acto knife, but anything sharp and, you know, small like that you can get down inside that seam is perfect. So I'm just taking those pillows apart. I'm refluffing the stuffing that came out of them, and I'm fixing to just shove it in there. All of it. This works out so cute. I love these pillows. Matter of fact, when fall is over, I will probably be bringing these inside because they turn out so cute. And you cannot tell that it is a placemat nor that it has been hot glued. So once I get it stuffed, I just pull off or cut off any extra little thread that's there. And then I'm just going to hot glue it back together. I just glued it right along that seam where the seam already was. Literally just added some hot glue and then pinched it together. And it goes right back together just like it was before. Check it out. You cannot tell that you can't tell at all. It literally, you cannot tell it at all. These are so cute. So cute. I love these. They really just set it off. Plus it goes with the buffalo check that is in the garland. So everything just kind of goes together and I love it. Love it. Too stinking cute. All right, so let me just pop in and say, don't forget to check out the Facebook page. It's at Blessed Beyond Measure Crafts. Also, my Instagram is blessed.beyond.measure.crafts. Now, let's get back to these DIYs. All right, so for this next DIY, I've got these signs that I got from the Dollar Tree. They're summer signs, so I'm not sure if they still have those or not, but they probably have that shape and size. Now, I got these stencils on Amazon, so I'll leave a link in the description box for those. And then the paint sticks I actually got at Walmart, like 4 in a pack for $1.09 or something, I think. Super cheap. All right, what we're making is a long sign that's going to say, Happy Fall, y'all. But so obviously the back side of it might actually show a little bit because it'll be propped up against the house. So I wanted to cover up the back of each of those signs. So all I did was just add some hot glue, flip it over right onto the craft paper. And then I'm going to take this little tool over here and just cut it. It cuts right down. I guess it's like an edger or something, I think is what maybe you call it. I'm not totally sure what this is. I seen it at Walmart, thought it looked cool, grabbed it up, and boy, it does work good, but I don't know what it's called. So if you know what that is, leave it in the comments. Please let me know what that little tool is called. All right, so to put these signs together, what I did was I took my craft sticks and I just hot glued them, and then I'm just going to glue the signs together. And that was just to put those signs together. Now we're going to give it a little more of a backbone with the paint sticks, but first I needed to, just get the signs together. So now we're going to add the paint sticks. And I just hot glued these dudes. Now, hindsight is 2020, right? So if I had thought about it first and known that I was going to put these outside, and then obviously it's still hot here in Tennessee. Oh my, y'all, it didn't stay together with the hot glue. So I recommend, if you're making this, to definitely use like E6000 or something like that, because the hot glue just, it ain't going to cut it. All right, now I'm going to go in with my poppy seed paint. I know that I use this on pretty much everything, but it is a great color, and it really goes with the Farmhouse and the buffalo check, and it's just gorgeous color. So, and I'll leave a link in the description box for that also for you guys. Now, I just painted this entire thing top to bottom, and then I took my stencils, laid those out to spell out my sign. And then I took these two pumpkins that I'm going to use, and we're going to paint those in a minute. But the first thing I did was I painted the poppy seed color back over the top of the stencil. Now, I saw that I saw this on somebody, it might have been Design to the Nines. I believe that's the name of the channel, but I saw her do stencil one time, and the way she did it was she painted the base color over the top of the stencil and then went in with the actual color that you wanted so that it wouldn't bleed. And y'all, it worked. So it totally works. All right, now I'm taking a color called Platinum Ring. That's by Kilz, and I'll leave a link for that also in the description box. And I'm just putting that right over the top of that stencil. I let the poppy seed that I put over the stencil, I let it dry overnight, actually, because I really wanted this to work. So as you see there, I'm just dabbing it on. You just pounce the paint on. This really turns out so stinking cute. I'm so proud of this one, but gosh, dog, I wish I'd have done something different than the hot glue, because I really messed it up. And look, of course, Blue, he's got to come say hi. Nosy thing. He don't understand. He wants over here. All right. So now that everything is dry and painted, we're going to peel that stencil off and check out what this looks like. And it turns out so good. I had no bleeding. Check it out, y'all. It turned out so good. I love this little sign. No bleeding. Check. Look there. Maybe a little bit, but y'all, nothing like I've done. But I don't usually have very good luck with stencils, so I will definitely forever be doing that. All right, now I took this little pumpkin that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going around the edge there. You can see that it's got like a raised part on it. So the actual bottom half of this, I'm just using my Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm just going to paint that portion of it with the wax. And you just paint that on, and then you just wipe it back off. That's how that works. Now, after I got that done, I'm going to go in that raised part. I'm actually going to paint with a chalk paint in the color Celery by Waverly. And now that celery paint is so pretty. It's such a pretty, pretty green. I knew this year for fall, I wanted the whites and the cream and the light green and, you know, those colors. That's the kind of the theme that I'm going with. So to find that color Celery is just, it's perfect. All right, so my smaller little pumpkin there that I had, and that pumpkin there came off of a string of pumpkins that had like footballs in between them. If you find that at the Dollar Tree, that's what this pumpkin is. So I painted it with the cashew colored paint, and then I took my burnt umber and just painted the stem there. Just literally go around the edges with my burnt umber. Now I did take some mineral colored chalk paint, and it's also by Waverly, and I kind of went in the middle and made a couple lines just as I'm doing there with the burnt umber, just to give it a little contour. Y'all have seen me do the pumpkins like that a million times, so I love to do that. I think it just accentuates it. That's a great word for it, because it really makes the pumpkin pop and look more realistic. So I love to do that, and I think it's fun to kind of play around with the paint. So I really get into it. If you want to know why I do it to every single pumpkin that I paint, I like it. That's why I enjoy doing it. So I just go back over all of it, everything that I just painted with the burnt umber other than the stem. I'm going to take my cashew colored paint and dry brush back over the top of that. And that's just more or less to blend it in. I always say this, but for those of you that are new to this channel, it's almost like contouring your face. It's pretty much the same scenario. You're going to have a couple dark lines, and then you're going to have a couple light colored lines and highlight it, you know. All right, so once I got all that done, everything's dry, I'm going to take my buffalo check ribbon, and I will leave a link in the description box for this also because I got it on Amazon, and it's a great buy. I have used this stuff constantly, and I still have a lot left. I think it was like 25 yards or something for 10 bucks. All right, so I just tied that buffalo check to my green and brown pumpkin, and now to my cream pumpkin, I just actually put the raffia that came on it back on there. Or actually, it's the raffia that came on the big pumpkin. I put it on the little one. I glued those pumpkins together, and then I glued that pumpkin to the sign itself. And it fit perfect, y'all. It looked like it was literally made to go on this sign. Look at how it fits right underneath the word y'all. It's perfect. I couldn't have planned that any better. I'm telling you, that worked out great. And now I'm just going to glue that little one down. I just wanted to add a little something to this sign to really, you know, just make it cute. All right, so I'm taking some burlap ribbon and I'm just pulling the edges of it, pulling the string, and it causes it to fray. And so I wanted it frayed a little bit. I'm actually just going to hot glue that around the top. And that's just to kind of frame off the top of this sign. It just kind of added a little more to it. And then I'm taking my buffalo check and I'm going to go right down the middle of that frayed burlap. Hot glued that stuff on, and check this dude out. So proud of this. I am so proud of this sign. I just love it. This looks like something that you buy at like the craft fairs or, you know, places like that. And I've seen these go for $50 and $60 and up, for heaven's sakes. And I just made that dude for about all together, paint, stencils, the boards, the paint sticks, all of it. I probably spent about $8 on that sign. So cute. All right, so for this next DIY, this one here actually is the cutest one of the whole thing. I love this. I absolutely love this DIY. So those two little pumpkins that I just showed you, those came from the Dollar General store, and they are metal. I also had the two plastic pumpkins that came from Walmart, and those plastic pumpkins, I spray painted those with the black matte spray paint, and I'll leave a link in the description box for that spray paint because it is a great spray paint. It works really, really good. All right, so for the two metal pumpkins, as you see here, I'm just taking those and painting those with that celery colored paint. And I actually painted the stem and all just to give it a base coat because I knew I was going to have to paint these twice. I used my heat gun to dry them. It works so good. I'll leave a link in the description box for it also. Now, to contour and highlight these pumpkins, I'm using the cashew color. I'm also using the color mineral, and then I will be using the burnt umber for the stem. But once again, all we're going to do is go around the edges, and then you're going to go around that middle section light-handedly. Not a lot of paint, just light-handedly go along there. And then I'm going to take that cashew color and come in and make a couple highlight lines. Y'all, this is so easy, but it's so much fun. Like, I so enjoy doing this. I love doing the contouring to these pumpkins. I just really feel like it makes them pop, and I just love it. I think they turn out so cute. And it's not hard to do at all. You're literally just kind of slapping on some paint in a couple different places. It's not hard, I promise. Don't be intimidated by it because it's not hard to do. You can't mess up, okay? Because watch this. I get my stems painted. I've got everything contoured and highlighted just like I want it. Add a little contour into the stem. Now I'm going to take my big brush that's got the green on it, and I'm going to, oh my gosh, do you see what I just did? See there? It doesn't matter if you mess up. Look, you can totally fix it. And just like that, I fixed it. So don't be intimidated by this. It's not hard to do, I promise. And if you do feel like it's not looking right, just paint over it. Just paint right back over the top of it and try it again. It's not hard, I promise, if you decide to try to do this. It turns out so cute, and it really makes the pumpkins pop. It makes them look high end. It does. All right, now, the spray painted pumpkins, I'm actually going to take that metal pumpkin and cover up that face. That was the whole point of these little metal pumpkins. I didn't want that jack-o'-lantern face on there. So I'm just going to hot glue these on. Now, I did leave the metal like hanger part on there so I could kind of tuck it in behind, and it would just be a little extra protection to hold it on. And I just tucked it on the inside. I did the same thing to the other one. Now, these turn out so cute, y'all. I'm in love with these. Now, where I had kind of scratched up the paint on the pumpkin when I was putting the metal ones on, I just took some of my chalk paint, my black chalk paint, and actually just touched them up. So, no big deal. Totally can fix those. These turn out so cute. I cannot wait for y'all to see these. Oh my gosh. All right, so once everything was painted, everything has its extras on. I'm going to take some, this is some dirt and rocks from another DIY that I had previously, and I just filled these pumpkins up with dirt, okay? And then I'm going to take these burners that came from the Dollar Tree, and you're just going to take the burner and kind of shove it down in the dirt. Just kind of slide it back and forth until it kind of goes down in there. You just want it secured in there. Now, I decided to do white rocks at first. Keep that in mind, at first. Because once I got the white rocks in, I decided I just didn't really like the way they looked with it. So I did black rocks, and that looked great. It really made it sleek and just a little more sophisticated looking. I love this. Check these out. So stinking cute. I love them. Look at them at night. Oh my gosh. Are they not fantastic? Oh my gosh. I just love these. I'm so proud of these. Seriously, seriously proud of these dudes. I think they look so high end, and they are just so different. I love them. So easy to make too, y'all. Y'all saw how easy that was. So inexpensive and easy. All right, for our last DIY here, I wanted to do something to set on the door. Obviously, you needed a wreath for the door. So my barge rope, finally found something to do with my barge rope. So I had a viewer, Miss Joanne Crafossi, I believe is how you say her last name. I'm not totally sure on that. But she had sent me a picture of a DIY that had been done with some supersized rope like this, and it was so cute. And I thought, and it was a different color rope, actually, the picture that she sent me, and they had done it in the opposite direction of this. They actually went around the wreath form, but I just took this and just wound it around the wreath form itself, actually, all the way around it. And when I started, I just tucked it in. You can still see it where it was tucked in before. I just wound it around. Y'all, it looks just like a sweater when I'm done. It's so cute. So thank you so much, Miss Joanne, because this was such a good idea. I love it. I think it turned out so, so good. So I just wound it around, and are y'all believing I had just enough rope to go all the way around this wreath and have enough to tuck it in? Now, if that ain't the Lord, y'all, the Lord planned that out for me, because I couldn't have done that no more perfect than that. Perfect. All right, so I just tucked it in right up underneath the other rope, and that's how I secured it so that it wouldn't come undone. Look, it looks like a sweater. It looks just like a sweater, y'all. And what's more perfect for fall than a darn sweater? I love this. I think it turned out so cute. All right, I'm going to take these florals that I got from the Dollar Tree. And actually, I had this one extra pick there that it came from Walmart, but I end up not using it. I end up just using the cream colors. I thought about putting a little bit of green in with it, but I just decided not to do the green. I end up doing only the fall colors. So I just take these and snip them off. I give them just a little bit of wire left or stem, just enough that I can shove it down in that rope. And I kind of tuck it up in behind the rope. So cute. And now y'all know how I am. It's got to be 3s or 5s, okay? So I end up with like 5 of each flower and then like 3 of each of the cattails and then the little berry looking things. There's 5 of each flower and 3 of those, of the kind of accessories that go on with it. And that, to me, that's how you make a wreath. That's you just kind of mix it up a little bit. Now, something else about this, don't be intimidated by the wreath, because just keep adding until it looks the way that you want it to look, because it's going on your house. So it's going to look like you want it to look. Always remember that when you're DIYing. These little pumpkins here that I had, they were actually on a clamp, a little thing from the Dollar Tree, and I just shoved a stem up in them and then pushed it in behind, just to secure those. Turns out so stinking cute. And you know what? It looks like what I want it to look like. It's going on my house. So always remember that, guys. Y'all do it the way that you want. Don't be intimidated by any kind of DIYs, because at the end of the day, it's yours. So it should look like what you want it to look like, not what everybody else thinks it should look like, or what everybody else's does look like. Make it look like yours. It's your own. Do it yourself. That's what DIY is. So don't be intimidated by any of these DIYs. Just do them. Just do it. Okay? All right. Now, I just took some of that ribbon from the Dollar Tree and wrapped it around. I just kind of looped it in and then pulled it secure. And then I took it and twisted it around. I'm going to take some wire, and I twisted it around because the wreath hanger that I have on my front door actually like hooks forwards. So that's why I twisted it around there. And then I took that wire and kind of secured it. That way I could have that loop at the top. Look at how beautiful. Oh my. Oh my. I am in love with this wreath. I love it. It looks just like a sweater. It's so perfect for fall. And who'd have thought I finally used the barge rope. And this is everything all together. I hope you enjoy. All right, so what'd you think? Do you love it? I just love it. I'm so proud of it, and I am very proud that we were able to take the stuff that I already had and turn it into what we have now, because I just think it's
gorgeous. I am absolutely loving the buffalo check for fall. I think it is perfect. It just looks so good. All right, if y'all enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, I would love for you to do so. That would be awesome. Check me out on Instagram. Don't forget about that Facebook page. That is a great place to connect, and y'all have a blessed day.